What are you lot saying before I carry on as well, man? Like, it's just a joke, man. It's just a joke. And let me try find the thread. Is it called a thread on Twitter? Let me try find it, people. You know, big up Chris Godfrey. This looks like an interesting thread. Let me bring it up for you, look. Make a timestamp as well. It's crazy, man. Like, it's crazy. You can't look at that team and tell me you're bringing on El Nene instead of Lokonga. You can't grab a Basuma. You can't do anything for something serious, man. Like, if I show you this, people, I hope everybody can see it. Let me try zoom in. Obviously, Chris has kind of articulated my thoughts perfectly, if I'm completely honest with you. You know, trying to flog Xhaka, as you lot can see here, trying to flog Xhaka, then giving a new contract, trying to cancel Kolasinac contract, then starting him against the champions. Big deals for Cedric and Willian, then trying to bin them off a year later. Loaning out Saliba, you know, when you look at the centre-backs today, 2 years on, we still can't press. We still can't play out from the back properly. We can't attack without resorting to a very rested preset patterns. And as you know, we're very left-hand-centric. You know, we've brought in a defensive set-piece coach, and we still can't defend dead ball scenarios or moments where it's gone out of play. You know, again, you know, the guys had time. You know, it's what you do with the time. It's crazy, and I get the vibe. Arteta's had plenty of time to revise for an exam. Now the exams come up, man are feeling the pinch. He showed his naivety with man management. Sometimes when to alienate a player and when not to. He's betted on players that don't care. You know, some of these players failed a great man in Wenger. Who the fuck are you to them? I've never met someone with such a propaganda piece, people. I've never got it. And then when you couple in Arteta's nonsense, backed up with Edu's, it's suicide. A serious club don't do this. You can have an inexperienced manager or or one experienced technical director. You can't afford to have both, because they can't get you out of it. They can't get you out of this situation. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible, people. It's not making any sense. Like, it's scary. Like, it's scary knowing that this could happen again. You know, Chelsea and City are top clubs. What about Brentford, though? I mean, all we wanted was credibility. Show why they're European and Premier League champions with them two teams. And against Brentford, the same logic. Brentford just turned up. All you have to do is half turn up against Arsenal. And then when you couple in ourselves imploding this, it's going to happen, man. It's going to happen. It won't surprise me if players have lost faith in Arteta now as well. Aubameyang has said, and I hope you can see, again, I'm using my other computer, so let me zoom in a bit. We need to talk, be honest, and raise the level. I mean, bro, if we never knew, bro, that could have been said all season. This could be said all last season. It's crazy, people. He said, we need to raise our level. You have to take risks and you have to be brave on the ball, and we didn't today. And I saw it in you. You knew that the balls were dead. So I know you don't believe in what Arteta is doing. I know you don't. You know, we have midfielders that lack courage. Really? Arsenal Football Club. To say we have midfielders that lack courage. To say we have players that lack courage. Integrity, courage, fight, tenacity. These are givens for any team that wants to do serious business, people. And until that happens, we can forget. We've got many tactical problems, but you can forget talking tactics. The minimum is to be fucking up for a game. They're not. They're up for it when people are sitting back being a bunch of pansies. The minute a team's a bit galvanized, oh my God, they're going to lose. He's right. You have to take risks. You have to be brave on the ball. And we didn't. You know, it's the same old players, the same old Sackers here and there, Smith Rowe flutters here and there. Tired. After that and the red card, it was a completely different game. Let's be real. The game was written off way before that red card. But as I said, this is not enough, and everyone needs to raise the level. Look at ourselves in the mirror and work this out as a team and stick together. This is the only way to go forward. I won't lie, Aubameyang. There's been several times where we've heard this, bro, where, yeah, man, we need to fight together. We need to stay together, man. That we're going to have a talk and that. We've been hearing this, man. Something else is needed, man. Because what, a new manager's going to come in, you lot are going to play well for a couple of games. You're going to say this new manager, like you did with Emery and Arteta, tells us everything we need to do. And then when that new managerial effect wears off and teams start clocking him tactically like Arteta, the nonsense. You need to beat up some of your players. You don't need to rush some people in the squad. It's too nice. I always remember a Craig Bellamy statement of, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to win football matches. You look around that team. I'm not saying you can't make friends. But does it look like anyone's a difficult personality when thinking in the right way? No. We have to play with courage. And in this type of game, you have to play with everything. You have to take risks. And we just didn't do enough today. And that's it. I think we need to talk between us players. I think this is now important because we are Arsenal and we need pride. That's it. We have to talk and say the truth between each other, be honest, and as a team, as I said, raise the level. For sure, the rebuilding process is going to be difficult. We're making it harder. It's like we're putting scaffolding, and then we're someone else is undoing it. Like, what's going on? Or you're getting cowboy builders. The rebuild is being done with cowboy builders. Like, it's Arteta is telling you something. He's telling you it's gonna look. He's telling you can do your patio, and he's half leaving it. Edu is telling you I need to get materials. The owner of the organization is just ducking and diving and not paying. Like, it's cowboy builders. What sort of process? This, you don't know anything about a rebuild. When has Arteta had to deal with a rebuild? He's not even been in an environment. If he was like at a Lille or Dortmund or something in the same role, you could say cool. Money's just been everything at City. So what's he known about that? What has Edu known about that? What has he known? Like I said, to have them is suicidal. And when you couple that into the cocktail of the terrible squad we have, the terrible coaches, the terrible habits they've picked up along the way, some of them several coaches, some of them only one, it's terribleness. Some of the problems are, I don't even think it's inexperience. It's just damn right ignorance. It's just damn right ignorance and incompetence. I think we need to talk between us players. I think this is how important, because we are Arsenal, we need pride. I don't know, man. As the senior players, we have to show the way as well to the young ones. I know that won't be easy, but we will try to do our best. I'm sorry, Aubameyang. A lot of you lot's best isn't good enough. It isn't good enough. It isn't good enough. I'm sorry. I'm absolutely sorry, man. I'm had it. I don't care about trying no more. There's no trying. If anyone's not at it, get out. Tell the guy that you need to leave now. You can go and get money somewhere. You can play for a club that ain't got fans like us, But I speak for any honest Arsenal fan, and I know we have a deranged fan base that just can't accept this. We've got no divine right to win trophies or do anything. What every football club should have for the fans is some hope. I don't have hope in you lot. I don't know. I must really be deluded, because despite all of this, I'm still back watching you lot. So let's see what our gaffer has said. Let's see what our gaffer has said, man. Aubameyang calls out players. I don't want to hear Arteta's excuses, man. I don't. Who wants to bet me we're going to read this and we're going to see something about the red card before we atone for our sins and say we was poor because we was poor? But let's see anyways. On the frustration at the result, people, one love to the 750 locked in. Make sure we're all hitting those like buttons as well, folks, please. And them things there. On his frustration, and we're all setting our reminders for the Liverpool one. On his frustration at the result, really big, really disappointed with the things. I think they're missing a T with the things that happen on the pitch. Obviously, the summary after 3 games and losing 3 of them, it won't make it any easier. I think us, bro, who writ this, bro? This ain't making sense. I think started the game really well. So I think they meant to say, I think we started the game really well and took the game where we wanted. We were really competitive, but in the first action, bro, we was competitive for 3 minutes. What are you talking about? But in the first action, the ball is wide. We didn't stop the cross or deal with the runners or defend the box well enough. Again, these players have poor habits and they need to fix up. But I'm sorry, our defending wasn't good enough. A lot of you fans wanted to sit there and waffle the fact that, we finished 3rd for clean sheets. We're not a good defensive side. We do not respect defending and we've got poor habits. Stop the cross. I love Tierney. He's my guy. Doesn't stop the cross. When, to cross the ball, there's a sender and a receiver. As you saw for Chambers and Holding, as you saw for the first goal between Odegaard, Cedric, Holding, Chambers, I believe, nobody's talking. A big part of defending is communication. No one in that back 5 can talk. You need to change the outlook, and you definitely can't afford to do this against City. Me as a football fan, you lot as football fans, we know that you can't do these things against City, yet we're still doing it. And if you do that here, it is impossible to win a football match, as there are so many basic things that have to be done better. Well, you're in charge of the basics as a manager. You as a basic player. So why don't we have the basics locked down? After that, we conceded the second one a few minutes later. Again, mentality, which I think is a clear punch on Callum Chambers' face. Yeah, it is. But it doesn't make sense. So I don't know how the goal is allowed to stand. We continued, and after another 20 minutes, get the red card, and we have to play 60 minutes with 10 men against the best team in the world, in the league. Sorry, a very difficult day. Yeah, it is. But these are self-inflicted errors, and these things happen. these things happen. Take away all of those incidences. We didn't do enough on having to iron out the issues during the international break. Well, we just had pre-season. That should just be about reiterating and building on what we have. I shouldn't be talking about these things that I'm talking about, because if there was pressure on Arteta, he would have known I can't afford to go into this season with this nonsense and certain players doing nonsense, because it's my role on the line. Anyways, we have some players here, and hopefully we get some players back as well. The players that come back, they've all been part of this as well. We missed a lot of players in recent weeks. Hopefully some of them will be back in decent shape after the international break. It's time to reflect. No, it's not. It's not time to reflect. It's time to pull our pants out. Some of you need to pull your knickers out and get serious. To look in the mirror, each of us. Bro, you should have looked in the mirror last season, man, and finished 8th. Should have looked in the mirror against Brentford. Should have looked in the mirror against Chelsea. Should have looked in the mirror pre-game. Should have been switched on from Friday. I don't care. We've gone past that. Because you can go check my live streams. When I'm asking for this is too late now. It's too late for a lot of this. It's too late. You need to look in the mirror. If you was looking in the mirror, a lot of the decisions you make won't be here. And try to change the dynamic straight away, because we need to pick up results. On what he would say to the fans. To the fans, all I can say is thank you so much. We had 3,000 fans here. They were absolutely fantastic. And in one condition with the team throughout the game. And that is what you saw, the reaction after the game. The fans, the players and myself, we had to do that. No, you had to do that because you know you got absolutely walloped. And you know the fans are onto you. So you had to do that. And you know it's going to get long. You spoke about needing people at the ground. Unfortunately, and it's sad, it's going to get toxic. And say thank you, because this doesn't happen very often in football. We have to value what they have done today. If you do, don't say sorry. Refund them. It don't cost much. Refund the 3,000 people. And after that, donate. I'm not saying a week's wages. The match fee that you lot get for today, because you lot don't deserve it, donate it to some charities. Simple as that. I think that's the minimum. On his response to the critics, I don't think today is the day to talk about any process. Today we have to talk about the result, what happened on the pitch, and that's it. And you're half-arced talking about it. If that, you're not talking about it really. And it's every day. Because had we have won today, or it was more of a positive loss, you would have said, I think we showed the fight. It's every minute. Because how your team perform on the worst of days is what says everything. You know, it's like going gym. It's the days you don't want to work out, are the days that are going to make or break you. Or in anything in life. If we, it doesn't make sense. You learn more from your L's than you do your wins. We're not learning from our L's or our wins. We didn't learn and build nothing after the FA Cup. We're not learning after getting smacked up against Chelsea, dealt with against Brentford, getting our asses handed to us today, and probably many times this season. Shut up with that, man. On if he still believes he can get results from this group of players, he's not going to say anything different from yes, he does. On self-reflection and if the players can perform for him, I've always said I'll be the one to take responsibility. Not once in the first statement did you take responsibility and say it's a tactical thing. You indirectly blamed your players and blamed other things. I think I've been more critical about myself and taking the blame every single time, but only when we have defeats. I stand here today and I do the exact same thing. I question myself and I have to try and have the right people around me and look at every decision we make and that I make and try to improve it and change it. If we believe that we should have done something different, of course, shut up, man. If he feels on Aubameyang, he said, if he feels that, then I really agree, because they are the ones that are on the pitch and have feelings that no one else can have apart from them. So if that's the case, then good. I mean, none of this gives me anything, because you're not giving me the vibe of somebody that knows what they're talking about, and it's peeing me off. I can't lie to you lot, people. Peeing me off way too much, man. So it is what it is in that regards, firmly, man. But he really wants to hear that. I know you lot don't want to hear that. 700 odd people locked in, 298 likes. Let's do up that a bit more, people. He never actually answers a question. He just circles around it with a lot of jargon. To be fair, Arsenal missing some key players. They'll be better this season. Jason, certain men have been in that team. You know, we've had full strength teams and put in performances like that. The Arsenal you know and love is dead and will never come back. Commiseries from a United fan. Bro, it's looking that way, innit? It's looking that. Can't really blame Leno with those defenders in front of him. I think he could have done better for 2 of the goals, but I've got no problems with Leno, because before even that, anyone that was at the live stream, I was saying Leno looks on it more than other people. I don't rate Leno's distribution. This was the one day he looked like he was serious with it and nobody wanted it. And it could have been 10 if it wasn't him, innit? So I can't get at him. But I do agree, sometimes it's the defenders, sometimes it's Leno. I don't have faith in too many players over a 38-game period. And if I don't, like I said, it needs to be done with. Salute DG. Your articulation of my exact feelings is so nail on the head. Respect and appreciate this stream, especially after today, Carl. Fed up of hearing fake plaudits and positive realness always. I appreciate that. Where else would you get a job like that with any complications, without any qualifications? Well, if you got a good rich uncle or an uncle that's an owner of a company, you can get an A1 reference like you've seen. Is it called? I know they're not family, but is it called nepotism or something like that, where you nice your family? That's what Arteta did. You know, he's clearly got the propaganda pieces, so he's got the media on strings. Great show as usual. Don't normally say much, but that's facts you're saying. Drive, integrity, and professionalism. Talk is nothing without action. DG came with the correct energy. It's too late. Arteta has to go. 0% agendas, just facts. Bro, listen, I would listen. A part of me, listen, I'm not loyal to anything other than Arsenal. I would love for Arteta to turn it around. I'd love for Edu to prove me wrong. I'd love for some of these players to turn me around because that means my club is going to go forward. I don't want to be right about Arteta because it means my club are losing. I don't want to be right. I don't care about any of that. I can only comment on what I see. And we've gone too long now. Emery needed to go, but Emery was sacked for a lot less. Now, I'm not saying that as a reason to keep Emery or Wenger. I just want same energy, you know. I do think the club haven't surrounded him with more experience, and they've, you know, and given a novice the most help he can have, and they've also, on top of that, reinforced his ego and things like that. So that's where the club's gone wrong. But Arteta, a lot of the variables that he fundamentally can control, he's not controlling them, people. For me, I'm not gonna lie to you, he's not controlling them. The problems for Arsenal are everywhere from top to bottom. Facts. They're going to talk about the red card and injuries and everything. Exactly, man. We could have gotten Grealish, Basuma, Buendia, Ben White, Telemans last season. Ooh, and I can see that. Why can't people like Edu and others get big money, see that for same money? I don't know if we could have got Grealish, but the other names could have been attainable. This is not the time for talking. It's the time for grinding on the pitch. I know we were missing some key players, but we should be doing a lot better on that pitch with those players. Facts. No more talking, walking time. Broski. Certain people are just saying new manager. I regret Arsenal not getting Brendan Rodgers from Celtic. Boy. Josh Kroenke told us to be excited for this season. Boy. No words. No words for a lot of these things, man. Bro, there's no reason. If I'm Brendan Rodgers, you're not signing for this club. There's no reason. He's always had a good reputation, took a bit of a hit after Liverpool. There's no reason to leave Leicester for Arsenal. They're in better health. The owner wants to win. You don't know what you're getting from Kroenke. Fuck that. Saddest thing is I really don't care at all. I felt like this since Baku. Tony Adams said it a couple of years ago. When looking for players to bring into Arsenal, you need to check the box of do they have the grind and heart to represent Arsenal. They don't check that box anymore. Exactly. It's not even on the paper, bro. It's not even on the requirements. It's not even on the entry requirements again, broski. It's not. It's a myth, man. It's a mockery. It's a shambles, man. It's an absolute shambles. Shambolic, man. It's not on anymore, man. It's really not on. We gave 6. We almost got 6. Almost took 6. Exactly, bro. I thought we was going to lose 7, 8 and that, man. Word of fighters, no backbone, spineless. They can't fight. They can't. They're wrapped in cotton wool. They can't respond to adversity. A lot of these players have been rewarded for mediocrity. You know, a lot of them have had tough upbringings and tough ways into football, but it's not reflected. You know, it's not reflected. It's really not reflected. It's a shambles, man. At this point, people mention Arsenal missing players for banter. Full squad or not, you still hold similar smoke. Arteta isn't good enough, but Arteta are in. Fair play. See, bro, you know it's long when you're not even an Arsenal fan, and I'm agreeing with that. Simple as that. I hear it, you know. If other managers were failing at other clubs or big clubs, it'd be, yeah. Sack Mikel, whatever now. Is that my guy? DLG. One love, man. One love to you. I don't know if you're at the game, but one love that you're in. Sack Arteta, whatever now. His tactics shocking. Lack of ideas. Another yes, shambles, DG. Fact. Our players are just confused under Arteta. That with being shit. Wenger did his best with average players, so did Emery, and got them as far as they could. Put an inexperienced manager in charge of these players, it's only going to be worse. We are the most passionate and loyal fans in the world. I was traveling from Toronto to Istanbul and was still following the game in the air. We deserve better. I can't say you're wrong. People who demand excellence. Trust me, you'll never have a fully fit squad. That's what management is. He's going now, in my opinion. Mario, exactly. You're never gonna. Everything's not gonna be perfect. As I always say, if you're a plumber or you're an electrician, you have to be prepared to get your hand cut or get electric shock or whatever. It's like I find myself baffled at Arteta sometimes. It's like he's genuinely surprised that there's been some injuries. You know, that he has to cope with injuries. That he has to, obviously the COVID, all of these things. Everyone's had to deal with that. And it's a madness, but everyone's had to deal with it. For me to be hearing you swear, is it that peak, G? Of course, man. Xhaka and El Nene is all you need to look